Hi everyone, it's Helen here. Hope everyone's okay. So I'm just switching over to the comments now, and I forgot to put my phone on silent. In fact, I don't even know where my phone is, so here it is. Okay, so I need to put this on silent. I should have done this before I went live, but I was talking to Mr. Griffin about chickens, so I've just quickly run up the stairs. And yeah, we're talking about we need to clip our chickens' wings. They weren't done when we bought them. I forgot to ask them. They will do it if you ask them, but I forgot that time, so we're going to be doing them ourselves. So we're just going to wait a little bit and then we'll do them, because we did notice that they were kind of flying and jumping quite high, so we don't really want to lose any over the fence. That would not be the best scenario. So I'm just going into my this video right now, and I'm going to use that as my comments because my screen is too far away. Okay, I think I'm all set. So this is the lovely collection that we are playing with today, because it really does feel like playing, especially when you have a brand new kit. So I downloaded this quite a while back. This is a digital kit, but you could, when it was out, you could have bought it in its physical form. So I will leave a link down below. I can't remember if I popped it in. Yes, it is. It's in the description box. It's a digital collection from Echo Park, and it's called Alice in Wonderland. It's the second collection that they have there. They haven't got the first one, but they have the second one, and at the moment they have a discount. So here, so that is a discount. It's applied in the basket, so you have to go to your cart and have a look, and I think it cost me just over £5 in UK pounds. So that's a really affordable, and it was for the whole collection. So you get the pack of papers and you get all of these cutouts, and then you get all of the stickers as well. I haven't used the stickers because I wasn't going to be doing any fussy cutting today. I thought I would be kept busy enough with all of this lot here. So these are all the cut parts, and I print, so everything here I have printed out. So let's go through the papers first, and the papers that I've actually used. Let me grab that. So this is all a digital kit, so you would print these out in whatever size you want using your home printer. Now I have some photocopier paper here. It's digital colour printing, and it's really smooth. And I have this linked down below, and this is my second pack of this, and it's actually I like to do that because it's really smooth. So this is going to last a very long time. Okay, I will sort that out later. And I'm still using my eco tank. I'm still putting it through its paces, and I do still have my video that I need to edit, because I've realized that the sound was not very good. There was something wrong with the sound, so I'm going to have to do a voiceover for that. So that is coming. So let's have a quick look and see who we have here. So we have Debbie. Hi Debbie. And we have Laurie, and we have Lou as well, and Margaret. Hope you're all okay. And hi Maria. And there's obviously me, I'm here too, so hello to me. And hello Joan as well. So okay, so the project we're going to be making today, I'm thinking I've got quite enough viewers in here now for me to get started. So it's a little bit of chit chat at the beginning, just while people were coming in. And so this is the album we're going to be making. Now this was my very first mini album that I made on my YouTube channel in 2016. It would have been July, round about that time, and it's a really super easy album, and I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator at the time, so this is all Stampin' Up stuff, and I really enjoyed this. So we're going to be making a version of this today with this Alice in Wonderland paper. So here we have some beautiful images. So this is basically just the super smooth Copier paper, and you can get this in different GSMs as well. So they do a thicker cardstock that will also run through the Epson Eco Tank as well. So I'm going to be using that as my wrap, but I'm more than happy to use this as my papers, or I could have just used that cardstock, which I have done in the past, just to print it all out. So if you love Echo Park and you fancy your 50% off, I'm not affiliated with these people whatsoever, this is just a personal recommendation. Pop over to Snap Click Supply, the link will be down below, it will take you straight to this kit, but have a look around at all the Echo Parks, because they have tons and tons and tons of Echo Park collections, and especially if you're really into Christmas stuff too, they have their Christmas collections on there too. So I know Christmas in July will be coming up next month. It's going to be an incredibly busy month for me, so I'm definitely going to be utilising some of their digital collections from there, because not everyone's got their Christmas stuff out yet, and I know it's only like June, July, but all the companies are getting them out now. So if you do see anything in the shops or online, buy it, because there is a very good chance that they won't be like replenishing the stocks. What I found every year when I do the July ones, by the time I get to October, November, a lot of the Christmas stuff has sold out already, and the companies have already moved on. They're doing spring and things for after Christmas. So if you see something Christmassy you like, buy it. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. Okay, so these are all the lovely papers. So we have this lovely Alice in Wonderland here, and my best friend's daughter is called Alice, so this would be perfect to give to her. And we have the butterflies, and then we have the cutter parts as well. My dreams wouldn't be complete without you in my life. Would you like an adventure now, or shall we have our tea first? There's another one as well. There is always time for some tea. Every adventure requires a first step. That's from the Cheshire Cat. What if I fall? But oh, but my darling, what if you fly? I'm not a complete expert in with Alice in Wonderland. I think I've only read it the once. So there's loads of these sayings here. So let's get started on the pages first. So I'm just going to quickly tidy up, push everything aside, and my cardstock is to the left of me. Right, so I need to read out my measurements. So these are going to be the base pages, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see. Oh, it's got quite dark there onto the left. It's very dark. I'm hoping it brightens up. I might have to play with the lighting. Oh, I can see what's happened. My light has turned itself down. Okay, I'm hoping that's okay. So yes, Claire's saying she loves Alice in Wonderland, so this kit will be absolutely perfect, and it's really not that expensive either. And if you have something like an Eco Tank, it's really, really affordable to just print. I could happily print off that ream of 500 papers guilt-free, because I know, you know, that it's really not going to kill my ink. Okay, so the cardstock that I'm using, it's a linen cardstock. It's from Craft Stash. It's from like Craft UK or something like that. I've lost the paper insert, but it's a massive wad there. That's linked down below. It's only like £9 something to buy, so it's really inexpensive, and it's 300 GSM linen textured paper. It has a very slight linen texture on the back, but on the front, that is it. Okay, so measurements. So the height of our album is going to be 5.5 inches. So this needs to be 5.5 by 9. The next one, 5.5 by 8.5. Next one, 5.5 by 8, and then 5.5 by 7.5. And you'll also be needing a scoring board for this as well. So let me just grab mine, and I have noticed this is just come back in stock at Craft Stash as well, so I'm super happy about that, because this is one of my favourite scoreboards. Okay, so there's only one measurement we have to remember when we're scoring, and that is 3.5. So score at 3.5, turn it over, and we're going to score at 3.5 again. Okay, so do this the same on the next one. 3.5, and 3.5. I'm going to say 3.5 every time, I think. Does anyone else do that? Just repeat the number that they're scoring all the time. No, that's not right. Almost did that wrong there. 3.5. It's because I didn't say it. I didn't say it that time. I guess it serves a purpose. Right, 3.5. Okay, so this would be our centre page, and there is a little bit of a gap here because I have in here, this is my prototype that I quickly put together from earlier, and we have a little pocket in here that we can pop photographs and other bulky items in there. So that is why we have that space in the middle. Okay, we're going to be using this again, so I'm not going to entirely put it away. Okay, so you can decide here if you have a textured cardstock, whether you want the textured bit on the inside or on the outside. I'm going to be keeping all of mine facing the same way, so I'm going to have my linen effect on the inside. Okay, so Debbie's saying yes, so I'm guessing she says out loud the numbers when she scores. Again, bone folder as well. I would be completely lost without my bone folder. I love my bone folder. And we're just going to ignore that extra score line that I put in there. We're going to be covering it with paper. So the aim for today is to get as far as we can. It won't be a finished album, but I will be telling you and showing you how to do all of like the base work, the skeleton work behind it. So you can just quickly and easily make one yourself, and if you do make one, please feel free to share it on social media. Just tag me, Helen Griffin UK. Feel free to share them in the Facebook groups you're in, you know, and you can even take the URL for this particular video and put it with your photo as well. So that would really help me along as well in growing my channel. And if you are not subscribed, please, you know, consider subscribing. There's an icon that will appear once this has finished being live, or you can just hit the subscribe button. Okay, so these are all going to stack together like that. So Cosmic Shimmer is the glue I'm going to be using today, and I did look, and it's back in stock. So tonight I'm going to be placing my order, and I'll probably buy 2 bottles because I have an incredibly busy July coming up. Okay, so this is going to go with a 1/4 inch gusset either side, so this is going to go straight into the center like that, and then I'm just going to lay it flat and just make sure that it's completely even and straight along these lines here. So I'm happy with that. There we go. Okay, so next one, we're going to do this again. Just went off to the side there. So has everyone been enjoying in the UK this heat wave that we've been having the last few days? Because I have not. It's been a little bit too hot for me. I don't fare very well in the hot weather, so I did take 2 days off from crafting and getting my work done. So I'm having to work the weekend to make up for those 2 days I had off, because I just couldn't function or do anything with that heat. So I don't do well in heat, but I'm sure there's loads of people that are absolutely loving it. So if you did enjoy it, I'm glad you did. Even if it was just sitting in the garden and relaxing and chilling. Lolu was about to say, she was about to tell me that it was in stock. So while I was chatting about the weather, what I did was I was just reinforcing all of these score lines that I've done so far, just so that I know that they're well exercised and that they're not all trying to point in a certain way. So now we're going to put in the last one, and then we're also going to be doing today a hard cover as well. So I need to grab myself some chipboard because I did not pull that out before I started the video because Mr. G distracted me with chicken talk. So I don't mind. I'm glad he's pretty much on the ball with the chickens. He's really enjoying them. The kids are really enjoying them too. We go out there every night and we spend time with them, and they kind of, you know, they jump on my daughter's arm quite a bit as well. That's quite fun. You know, and then they do a little chit chat, and then they all just disappear into their coop. Just disappear. Anyway, so that's enough chicken talk. So I'm just grabbing my chipboard here. I have everything to hand that I use regularly, so it's just here. Okay, so this is chipboard or grey board. You can get this from eBay. You can buy it on Amazon. It's something I forgot to link, but if you search for grey board or chipboard, something like that, grey board will mostly find you what you want to find. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Fiskars. So yeah, Debbie's saying the washing has dried. I'm too afraid to put washing out because a couple of summers ago I did pang some washing out on a really bright day, and my colours just weren't the same afterwards. It faded all of my colours. So now I try to avoid it during like the really high UV times, so early in the morning or later in the evening, later in the afternoon is when I'm brave enough to hang out the washing. Okay, so I need to make a mark here because it kind of disappears off there, but that's fine. We can just quickly make a mark with this. So let me look at my measurements. 5 3/4, that's all I have to do. And the reason why I'm using this paper trimmer is because it will cut through chipboard, and then straight afterwards I can go straight onto cutting thin paper, so I don't have to get my craft knife out anymore. I absolutely love this, and I have found it on Amazon UK and the US site as well, so I'm pretty happy that it's available on both. Okay, so the spine needs to measure 2 1/4. So I've tried not to do too much prep work beforehand. I want to be more, you know, hands-on, so you can actually see me do things. And the covers need to measure 5 3/4 by 3 5/8. So it's going to be a lovely little book. So I'm just going to double check that I have all of this cut out correctly. Let's do a little double check. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that means for our wrap we only need to use an A4 piece of card or a piece of paper, and I've printed that out already on the thicker cardstock that's printable. And I'm going to go for the stripy one. I absolutely love this one. Okay, so let's quickly lay everything out so I know what we're doing. We're going to have more or less an even border all the way around, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go for my double-sided tape, the one I dropped on the carpet. I really don't like it when that happens because it just picks everything up. Okay, and I also need my special, it's not very special, but it's very handy, just a block here with a right angle. Oh, so Margaret's asking, do I turn my colours inside out? Yes, I have everything inside out because everyone takes off their clothes and leaves them inside out, so that's pretty handy but I just find my blacks kind of just not the same, so I just try to avoid really bright sunlight with the clothes because I don't have a dryer. So it is a common thing, but it's in the UK it is a common thing to have a dryer, but it's not really classed as, you know, a necessity, I guess. Okay, a lot of us do a lot of line drying, which I'm one of them. Just going for another. Here we go. I think that might be a bit too, might be a bit thin, but we'll go for it. Okay, so as you may notice, I'm not skimping on tape. On some of the really big albums that you've probably seen on YouTube, and like the really nice big ones that people make, you can easily use a whole roll of tape on one album, and I don't mind that because I know then it's stuck together really well. It's not something to kind of shy away from. Okay, got everything done now, so let's squish everything down. And I just want to say hello to everyone that is watching on the replay. This is a live show at the moment, so I do enjoy interacting with everyone. So yes, it is a little bit more chatty than one of my normal tutorials, so please do bear that in mind. And if you are watching on the replay, I would love for you to come and say hello. I do read those comments as well and reply to those. So I'm going to just take this backing off here, and then I'm going to plop this in at the centre, hopefully straight. Some people get their rulers out, and I just eyeball it. Looks straight to me. But the one thing I do is I use my ruler and get that 1/4 of an inch gap here. You need a really good sized gap there for when the book folds and closes. So yeah, Lou's saying she loves the chatting. It is really nice to catch up, especially during these times as well. What I do like actually is everyone chatting amongst themselves in the chat as well. So if you are watching on replay, there is a section where you can actually choose to watch the live chat as it appears as I'm talking, so you can kind of, you know, be part of the interactions too. So, but feel free to join in. Okay, so I'm leaving a 1/4 of an inch gap in the middle, and I'm using my ruler here just to help me. And because I pressed everything down, this sticky double-sided tape has been pressed right into the grey board, which can be a bit funny if it's not pressed in entirely. So you really want good contact, and a pokey tool really does help. So mine's a Stampin' Up pokey tool, so if you have a pokey tool, can you write what brand you have as well and whether you actually like it or not? Because I've seen some of them, they're kind of like double-ended, and I'll just be too afraid I might poke my eye out. So MDXX is asking, where do I get my double-sided tape? I got it from Amazon. It was like £5 for a roll. If I can find it, can you remind me a little bit later on? And then I will probably add the link in the description while everyone's watching. I did that last week, so I was able to do that. Okay, everything's all nice and hunky-dory now, so I'm going to add some more tape, because that's what you do, you add more tape. Okay, so I'm going to add it all the way to the corner. Now I do have to say this every time because there are new people watching, so I'm not going straight into the corner because we're going to be cutting that off, but I am adding it before I cut the corner off because I don't want to cut corners, mind the pun, but I like edge to edge on the ends of my tape, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But there's no need for me to go right into the corner. Okay, and if you really want to, you can add some more tape, so you can add it around here too. Okay, so Debbie's saying she has 4 pokey tools. So, are you able to tell us what they are and perhaps which one's your favourite? Or do you tend to use the one that isn't lost? I have 2 bone folders. No, I don't. That's my spare. Where's my other bone folder? See, I've lost it already. I do have 2 of these. Okay, bone folder. Press everything down again, especially on the grey board here. Press everything down because it's quite a fibrous thing, this grey board is, so it really needs to be pushed into the fibres. I'm wondering where my other bone folder is. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm just going to cut this off. And again, I've left a little bit of a gap there. That's going to help me to fold the corners over and not have any of this grey board sticking out the end. Okay, so as you can see, now I've trimmed this off, I have this tape here going right to the edge. That's the finish that I'm looking for, and it's those little details like that that are going to make the difference between a well put together album and one that looks a bit like it's going to fall apart, or even does try to fall apart. Okay, so another thing that you can do is take your bone folder and run it across there. That's going to help the card create a memory that it needs to fold, and it needs to stay folded. I have had mini albums before in the past where they've decided to unfold. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just quickly fold these over, just so that it knows what we're trying to tell it to do. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to read some of your comments, and I'm going to sit down for that because I'm standing too far away to actually see the comments. I've put my scoreboard away out of habit. No, I'm going to have to grab that out soon. But anyway, so Pamela's saying she uses the Tim Holtz Pokey Tool, old style red one. Seems to be better than the newer black one. Okay, so Lou uses the Woodward one, but not impressed as it's bent at the end. So it's a little bit normal. Woodware. Woodwood. MDXX. Mine is a Spellbinder's tool in one, had it for years. And Helen saying, I will find the bone folder when you don't need it. Yes, probably when I'm tidying up. So I'm taking my bone folder again. You know what I forgot to do, because I was looking at the comments. I didn't take this tape off. We'll just forget that I did that, okay? I will show you again what we're supposed to be doing on this side. So take your tape off the chipboard. Let's take all of them off, and I'll try not to stick it to myself. Okay, and Debbie says she uses a pin or needle, tattered lace, Joanna Sheen, and 2 unnamed from craft events. I also use a pin or a needle. And Denise says hello. Hello, Denise. Okay, so I'm working on the opposite side to the one that I've just done. And now I'm just folding that over. Use my bone folders to press it right into the fibres again. So I need to choose a different project for next week because we've been doing chipboard covered albums now. A couple of weeks in a row, I think. Okay, so moving on to the corners, I'm just going to flatten them with this bone folder. So what I may do is create a video. I've stuck myself to it. I need to create a video on how to do this with all of my top tips, and then I'll have one of these ready for when we go live, and then I'll just refer people to the video on how to do the perfect wrap. I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward. Yes, Caroline, Stampin' Up! Pookie tool is not available anymore. Oh goodness, that is a shame. Have they got a new double-ended sort of one like Sizzix? I think I saw that. Oh, so Debbie, is that a request for next Saturday perhaps? Advent calendar boxes or anything else? Okay, everything's done. So that was more or less the time-consuming part. Okay, so I now have the chipboard. My lines look straight. I'm impressed with myself. Oh, it's slightly off there. Never mind. Yes, all new dies. Well, we had a couple of months ago about 2.5 hour Skype meeting my Christmas collections that are to be released, and I found it totally energizing, and I think everyone else was just like, oh, 2.5 hours chatting. So I really can't tell you what we're going to be making or bringing out. So, ooh, what do I say? You're going to like it, and I think I can actually say there's going to be some Advent stuff coming out. I don't know what order the collection is going to be coming out, so it's going to be a watch this space, but I believe we're going to be getting everything back in Advent wise from last Christmas. So that's out of stock at the moment. That's a seasonal thing, so those will be returning. Okay, so hi Kim. I'm thinking the doctor's bag is making its way to you. As you pre-ordered, there's nothing else you have to do. It will just be dispatched to you once it's in stock. So, oh, I have it here actually. Let's grab that down. Okay, here it is, the doctor's bag die set. It's back in stock. Fantastic. And here is the, yes, Lou, I'm teasing again, but I'm teasing with Christmas. This is the doctor's bag now, so I've moved on. But we can go back to talking about Christmas in a minute because it is July soon. Okay, so this is the doctor's bag. It's sold out and it's now back in stock, so grab yours before they go again. It's hugely popular. And the link for that is also down below. I'm super excited about that. So I'm thinking maybe I should make something else with that die set. Maybe a more feminine bag, perhaps. Anyway, okay, so let's get cutting again. I need to choose some more papers. I printed out one of every paper in this collection. So I'm thinking I'm going to go for this pink one here. Yeah, I'm going to go for the dots. So I haven't actually taken a measurement for this one yet. So we need to cut this at 9 3/4. You're welcome, Kim. I hope it doesn't take too long to get there. 5 1/2. 9 3/4, 5 1/2. Nine and a half. No, it was 9 3/4, wasn't it? God, this is why I should write them down. We're going to, yes we are. Okay, moving on. We're going to choose a different piece of paper now. Looks like we'll be using this one after all. Okay, 9 3/4. See, my brain does not hold numbers. It's like a sieve when it comes to numbers. My brain's like, woohoo, drop the numbers. I'm sure I'm not the only one. 5 1/2. 5 1/2, yep. Okay, going to temporarily put that away. Oh, I might even get to use my new other trimmer. Let me see if I can got it here. I'm going to use that on my smaller bits and bobs. Where did I put it? Here it is. I finally have a replacement for my Tim Holtz trimmer. Something went ping here about a year ago, and I can now do this. You should not be able to do that with your trimmer. And it's starting to catch on this part there. So I'm going to pop that away, and we'll be moving on to this one next for cutting. Save me getting the massive trimmer out. So I'm going to be using this one now. Now it's black as well. It has, instead of the red, so it's black and grey. Okay, so let's get this glued down. You can use double-sided tape or you can just use glue, up to you. A lot of people just do everything with double-sided tape, and if you've used score tape, I am very tempted to try some. So if you find score tape fantastic, let me know in the comments. Even if you're watching on replay, I'd love to know what you think. And I'm just going to add some more glue either side here. This is where it needs the strength there, either side of those two gaps. Yes, the bag has been incredibly popular. It really has. I wasn't expecting it to be, you know, that popular. Okay, so I'm going to leave that flat now. Because I've used glue, I'm going to give that a little bit of time now to kind of set. So moving on, pop that to the side. Where's my book? Here it is. Here we have our book. Now everything has kind of just settled down now. So what I'm going to do is take my bone folder and just press down all of the score lines while it's in its closed position. That's just going to help the pages turn and kind of make them sit nicely when the book's relaxed like that. It saves them kind of fanning out in that sort of a manner. Okay, so let's work on this pocket here in the center. So we're going to be making, this is my prototype, it's a very rough copy. So let's make that now. So I'm going to be using my new trimmer. Let's see, you'll be witnessing my first test here. I'm going to put my ruler away because I am going to lose that, just like my spare bone folder did. What am I looking for? More card. Here we go. Right, so pocket measures 4.5. Oh, I'm not used to this. Did you might have noticed I was like, because I'm used to oh, making a mess. I'm used to being able to do that. I'm gonna have to really settle myself down with this one. No yanking. No yanking. See, maybe that's why I broke that. I'm a yanker. Okay, 4.5 by 3.5. Oh, that cuts really well. Oh, I did it again. I'm just too violent with it. 4.5 by 3.5. Oh, see, I just want to be gentle, Helen. Be gentle. Okay, so I'm going to quickly read the comments because you're asking me stuff, and I don't want to miss any of the comments. So I'm going to grab my little scoreboard again. Now this is going to be the pocket here. Just need to make sure I have this in the right orientation. Yes, so it needs to be in landscape, and we're going to score at 1/4 of an inch on one side, turn it, do 1/4 of an inch again, and then 1/2 an inch, and then on one of the long sides going down we're going to do 1/4 of an inch and then 1/2 an inch. So that is what is going to give us the bulky pocket. I'm sure there's a better name for that. A 3D pocket, I guess. So while I'm folding everything up, I can quickly read the comments. So Susan saying she missed the advent calendar dies last year and can't find it on Craft Stash. Yes, we are planning to bring it back this year, as it's a seasonal item, but it will be back. I don't know when it will be back, but it will be during one of my Christmas releases. So Sandy's saying she also needs the advent calendar add-on for the bag. I'm not too sure which one you mean, Sandy. Is this something that I've released before? Or do you mean like one of the pull-out drawers? I do have a few drawers now that come out. Okay, so everything is now folded. I just want to double check I did do this right. There's nothing like double checking. Yes, that is right. Grab your scissors. Okay, just wondering best place for you to see me cut. Okay, so let me get a pen. Pencil will do. This tab here is what we're keeping. We're going to be keeping that tab there. It's the same for this one as well. We're keeping that tab. This square, and this square we're going to be cutting off. So I'm just going to cut up those two lines there and cut through the centre. Those two squares fall off. And I've got these two flaps now. I can cut the last one off. And then I'm going to gently, very slightly, taper in the ends for that. So I have that. So this is going to be quite fiddly. So I am going to use some dry adhesive just to help me get this together. Okay, with my test piece I needed to use the dry adhesive just to hold it together before I popped the pocket onto the page. So I'm just going to get that ready. Okay, so this is all going to fold in. So we have this flap here, that's going to go on the inside, or you can pop it on the outside, but it will be visible. So I like to have that on the inside, and it's all going to fold in just like that, and it's going to be the same on the other side. So I'm just going to quickly take some dry adhesive just to help me. Once it's all glued together and it's on the page, you won't have to worry about it falling apart. So this is literally just to help me get this together. There we go. I think I've got some on there. Yep, I can see that. Okay. Again, apologies, this is absolutely tiny and fiddly. So Susan saying she missed the advent calendar dies last year. Oh, I've already read that. Oh no, there's no new comments. That's all right then. I haven't missed anything new. That's cut apart. Oh, so yes, Susan saying thank you. I'll keep an eye out. I think Sandy may mean the large ornate gift bag, which used the advent calendar. Yes, the large ornate gift bag should be in stock right now. That is also back in stock. It came back in last month, I think. It's always lovely when everything comes back in stock. You know, you do miss things when they're gone because you can't, you know, use them. I don't like to tease people with things that they can't buy. So I prefer to use things that are in stock. The good news is, oh, no, that's not good news, it's all come out. But the good news is the binding, the small binding is now back in stock. The large binding is not, but the small binding is back. So I could probably do a nice project with that and continue my mini album series, because I'd like to carry on with that. Okay, enough waffling. I'm now almost in the position now to get this glued on, so I'm just going to add glue all the way around here on the tabs there. I'm just going to have to put this together and hope for the best, because it just wants to come apart. It's a very naughty pocket. Okay, so I want to be able to close or have this book in that angle there with the pocket not in the way. So I'm just going to pop everything in, fold everything up the way it should be, and then I'm going to quickly test it before I commit to popping the page, popping the pocket in its place. And I'm going to have to wipe a bit of glue away as well. So let's close this up. Yep, I can close that. I'm happy where that pocket is. Quickly wipe any glue that came off the sides, and there we have a nice pocket. So things will fall out of that, so we need to make sure that that does not happen. So let's pop this back on the glue and move back to, oh, I've just looked out the window, there's a really nice sunset, lovely oranges. Okay, so for the lid it needs to measure 4 3/4. I'm really not used to this. 4 3/4 exactly. Okay, and 3.5. 4 3/4 and 3.5. I do like to double check when I'm reading out my measurements, because you know I do get carried away. Right, so we're going to be needing scoreboard again, and we're going to be scoring out 1/4 and 1/2. And then because this is going to be a pocket, I want the corners to be rounded, so I'm just going to grab my, what's it called, crocodile corner chomper, and I'm going to go for the 1/2 inch setting. And if you do get a funny odd sort of corner, just turn it round and do it again, and that will round it off perfectly. So if you do have problems with your corner chomper, with it sometimes not giving you a perfect rounded edge, just turn it over and it will sort that out for you. Okay, so I now have rounded corners, and I'll be repeating that when I put a mat on it as well with the paper. Okay, so I am going to decorate perhaps 1 or 2 pages, and we'll glue this in. One thing I am going to do is just double check this actually. Yes, that is going to come off the side by round about 1/16 of an inch. So I am going to just redo that. This is something you can easily fix, but double check before you glue it down. I'm going to break this again, I know I am. Okay, so I'm taking this down just 1/16 of an inch. There is a little notch there for the 16th. And if you don't know what that looks like, that is 1/16 of an inch. It's the 1/2 of an 1/8. And I will have to redo my corner again, but that fits perfectly now. So let's get that done again. There we go. And now what we can do is just glue that on to there, and then we have a pocket. So you can use a magnet or Velcro, something like that, to keep it closed, or you can use the 2 circles with some brads as well if you wanted. So if you wanted to do one of those swirly tie things, you know, where you wrap it around the circles. I'm sure there's a name for it. Okay, so I'm just going to close this page up slightly so I can see from this angle that I'm not going to go over the edge. I just want this straight. So when I close that, we should wait for that to dry a bit before I do that. There we go, that's in the right place. Press that down. And there we go. If you want, you can taper these in, it's up to you how you like that to be finished off. So shall we be brave enough to do a magnet closure? Let's see if I have enough magnets. Here we are. I have magnets here. There were some funny instructions. I know some of you know this from previous videos, but my magnets did come with some hilarious instructions on not what to do with it. Basically, so don't stick them in your ears or in your nostrils because they will clamp together and it will be very painful. It actually said that it's not something that I would myself would not do. I would never in a million years would I stick a magnet up my nose. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 of these magnets. These are from Amazon. They're not in the description list, but here is the packaging. They're by Magnet Expert. They are 8mm and they're wide, so that's the diameter, and they're 1mm thick, and they're the neodymium magnet, and the pack of 25. And if you want to make your magnets last a little bit longer, you can use a washer. And as I'm using quite thin papers, I might be able to get away with a washer this time. So let's grab some glue dots. Do I have any? Glue dots would be handy right now. No. Oh, here we are. No. I have 2 glue dots left. I have a massive box of them. It's over there though, I'm not going to reach for those. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stick my magnet on the glue dot, pick it up, and then I'm going to probably pop it here. There we go. Press that down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another glue dot, I'm going to use my washer this time. I'm going to stick the glue dot on the washer. I'm guessing all washers are magnetic. It has to be a magnetic washer. Then I'm going to stick it on the magnet just like that with the sticky dot facing upwards. And then I'm just going to press that down just to pick that up. I'm just going to make sure that the everything is straight. There we go. Right, now we can press that down. Happy with that. I've already pressed this one down with my fingers, so let's press that down really nicely. Okay, now we have a working pocket. And that's going to be right in the center, so all we've got to do now is just cover that with paper. But first I want to get this into the album, so I have all of my papers pre-cut ready to go, so I will be decorating a couple of bits before we go. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly press this in with my bone folder just like that as I lift that up, and it looks like I left a decent amount of a gap. If your gap was too small, this is where you would kind of suffer for it. It will start to crack here, but that seems to be okay. And I'm thinking I probably should have used double-sided tape for this as well. not wet glue. I've got a couple of extra blobs here. I'm sure that will turn out fine once it's dried. Okay, this is a really cute little dinky album, and afterwards I will carry on decorating this after this video, otherwise it will be a 3-hour live and I don't think everyone has about that much time. So this is now going to pop into the center just like that. Make sure you have this the right way around if you have a direction on your paper. So I'm just doing a dry run now. So it needs to go on like this with an even amount of space either side of these fold lines here, and also it needs to be quite straight, or otherwise if it's slightly off or wonky, all of your pages are going to be wonky inside your book, and I think it would probably annoy you quite a bit. So, oh dear, my glue has dried up. Got a wire here. It's from my flower making. It's really handy for this glue there. Okay, let's try again. Yes, Kim, they are really inexpensive. You can buy a massive bag of them, and then you've kind of doubled the use of your expensive magnets. Just don't, you know, put them in your ears or up your nose. I would like to know someone that has done that so they could tell us how painful it was. Oh, so Debbie's saying she can't see the blobs. There's one here, and there's a couple there, but I'm sure they're going to disappear once it properly dries. Okay, so I'm just going to go for it now. Sometimes you just have to be brave and just go for it. And that looks like it is straight. There's an even space top and bottom and all the way around. I haven't committed fully yet. I haven't pressed it down. It's just literally just resting. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to now test this out properly. If this was a bit skew with, I'm just straightening out the pages. There we go. I'm just pressing that down, and then what you can do is you can go and press down in the gusset on each page. There we go. There we go. Okay, because this is quite bulky, you may have a little bit of trouble going through the end part there, so but don't worry too much about that. You can make a slimmer one, or you can make a completely flat pouch if you wanted to. Okay, so this is now what it looks like. It has the pocket in the center. So now we can decorate a couple of pages. So I've got all of these lovely papers here that I've printed off from the paper collection. This is the Alice, if you've just joined, this is the Alice in Wonderland digital paper pack from Snap Click Supply. The link for this will be down below, and they have 50% off at the moment on all of their Echo Park digital collections. So I absolutely love these. And if you wondered what that bang was, I don't know if you heard that bang because it shakes the house. That'll be the someone in my family locking away the chickens for the night, so I think they've just come in. Okay, so let's choose our papers. So I think I'll go for this lovely butterfly here. Actually, no, let's use the Alice ones. I like this one here. This is really pretty. Okay, so the Alice one there. Again, earlier I said I won't be finishing off this album live because that would just take so much time. These things do take a lot of time to make. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to have this on the flap there. I'll just rest that there, and then do I repeat that underneath? That's a question. I do like to have some repeats, or I could just go for a plain blue underneath. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be too busy I don't like things when things clash. That's the only thing. So before you make any commitments, audition all of your papers. I'm going to go for the stripes. I'm happy with that. So let's give you some measurements because I pre-cut these out already. So this is from an A4 sheet of paper, and these measure 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And if you want, you can round the edges if you want to. And because I'm not going to use the glue, I'm just going to quickly use a tape runner. And I'm not going to, it's just for this double page here. So I won't be doing a proper job with the tape runner. It's just to get this down so you can see it. All the rest I think I will glue down properly. But just for speed, we'll be using the tape runner today on these pages. Woo! So I've measured these so that I have 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, so this now needs to be trimmed. It's already measured widthways, it's just the length I need to do. And that needs to be 4 inches, that's an easy measurement. Lift gently, lift gently. And I need my corner chomper. I also have my X-cut corner rounder as well. That will do a 1/2 inch. But the reason why I have this one as well is because this one will cut through the chipboard. So it's kind of a necessity. Okay, I'll just go back to the glue, it'll be easier. So did anyone get any good thunderstorms? Because we had a lot of rain the last couple of days, but no thunderstorms at all. I've got dry glue coming off my fingers now. Press that down, and I'm going to have to cover one here underneath that just to hide the magnet. If this is an album that children are going to be looking through, I probably would go for a different sort of closure because magnets aren't all that recommended around children. So it's 2 3/4. Oh, I'm going to break this. Just too rough with it. Okay, so there's no corner rounding on that one. I'm really liking how this is looking. So Debbie, are you tempted to get this collection? Just think of the birthday cards that you could make with it as well. So Debbie saying no thunder in Woking. Okay, I'm going to need a flap. Yeah, we'll go for the blue here. So what was the measurement for that? It was 4. I should have remembered that, but brain like a sieve. I'll use this one. I'll use the X-cut for this. That is going to fit on there, and now all of the magnets are now covered. So Helen saying she had thunder and lightning yesterday evening. Oh, lucky. That was lucky. I do like a good storm. It's a bit annoying when they go round us, you know, they just go round to the side. Yeah, oh, you missed me out. You went around. Lots of high winds and rain, but no thunderstorms. I take it Lou doesn't like thunder. So Debbie's saying she bought the magazine with the free Alice thing, but wasn't keen on it. Oh, which magazine was that? Was that quite a recent one? because I think it is a copyrighted image, I think, so you like with the Wizard of Oz, I'd say, but I think if you use different, not the copyrighted images, you can still use it or reproduce it. But I do think magazines sometimes they get the license for it. Okay, so what should we pop in here? Nope, got these roses. I think this one with these two would look really nice together. Keep those to the side. Do I go for Dotty? Yes, this is really pretty. I really like how this is coming together, and I think I have some offcuts, but I'll just cut this anyway. I'm just going to cut this in half. Just do that at 3. And again, if you're just joining in on replay or on the live, you can watch this on the replay, and I'm going to pop that just here. Lovely. Ah, Papercraft Essentials. Was that quite recent? Margaret's asking, do you find the corner chomper easy to use? Yes, I do. I will show you in a moment how it goes on the grey board, which is quite thick. It's I think it's 1mm thick. Okay, and then we have a working pocket with the magnet. That looking really nice. Okay, so here's the corner chomper, and here's my piece of what, the 1/2 inch. There we go. That wasn't too, I mean, if you have weak hands or an arthritis or something like that, you may struggle very slightly, but this is quite a thick cardboard, and that has cut it really well. And I think because it has this spring action in here, it takes away some of the work, and it just puts in extra power. So that wasn't too bad, actually. I didn't have to press very hard at all, and I do kind of have slight weakness in my wrists anyway, so I found that okay. If you were going to spend an hour doing that, your hands would ache, I would say, but that would be normal. Okay, so let's choose a card for here. Here they are. I'm looking through the papers. I need card. Making a right mess. You know, after every live on a Saturday, it takes me a good 15 to 20 minutes to tidy up all the mess that I've made. Okay, so I need a small one now. What if I fall? I think that one would go really well. There is always time for tea. Ooh, I don't know. I want to stick with that one, and I'm going to, I just need to trim that off because I trim these quickly, and I want to mount it onto some white card. I'm learning. Do it slowly. And I'm not even going to do any measurements. I'm just going to grab one of my offcuts. No, I'm not. I'm going to grab the blue one. Yes. If I was using a coloured one, I would mount that onto white just to give that a border. But as I'm using a white one, I'm just going to put it onto some of the coloured paper. And I printed this as well. This isn't any coloured paper or anything from my stash. I just printed out one of each, and you get a plain blue and a plain pink in the paper pack too. Just print that out. Okay, so again I'm going for the 1/8 of an inch border around there. And then we'll just trim that away. Good thing about this trim is I can use the bottom as well as the top. Ah, so Lou's never heard of a dust storm. I mean, I'm sure you may have heard dust coming over from the Sahara and kind of settling. I'm sure you may have heard of that, Lou. I mean, that would have been a dust storm from the Sahara that's been blown over all the continents up to us. That's happened a few times the last couple of years. I think a couple of years ago it turned the sky orange in the UK, and that was blown over from the Sahara. I do remember that. Okay, so here is my card, and I'm going to use some foam pads, just to raise that up, give it a bit of dimension. Someone's asked, MTXX is asking, do I prefer DigiKits as opposed to paper pads? I like both of them in equal measure. At the moment I'm having a bit of a drought on paper pads, on new paper pads to play with, because I haven't really seen many that I like out there. So that is kind of when I go, right, I'm going to go and get myself a digital one. I'll download it in less than a few minutes, and then I'll spend half an hour printing stuff out, cutting things out, and then I'm really ready to go then. So it all depends. And then if I'm playing with a DigiKit, if you have an internet connection, which you would do anyway if you're watching online, you know, it's accessible to anyone. That's right, MDXX, you notice all the sand on the cars after one in the UK. So yeah, you've got to be really careful cleaning that off your cars as well, because it can leave scratches. You kind of just have to kind of rinse it off. Do not like get a sponge and wipe it around, because it will scratch. It'll be like an exfoliant on your car paint. Okay, so that is that page done. Perfect for your photos, especially if you had like a fancy dress Alice party as well. So that's all the decorating I'm going to do, and now I'm just going to quickly show you how I've made an extra flap. So let's turn this over, and again, if this bulky pocket does annoy you a bit slightly, you can just pop it in the back there, or you can just make a flat pocket as well. Okay, so I'm going to need my trimmer. Is that the right? I'm just going to chop into this big piece here. Okay, so let's get the measurements. Flaps. Okay, so it needs to measure 5.5 by 4, so I'll do the 4 first, and then I will do the 5.5. Okay, so Margaret's asking, am I catching the side of your Tim Holtz cutter? On my old one? Do you mean this little corner here where it catches? Sorry, Debbie, I do need to edit that video, but the sound was corrupt on when I went to edit it, so I need to do a voiceover. Which is going to take me a little bit of extra time. Okay, and then I'm going to score it. So that was 5.5 by 4. No, I've written a measurement down wrong, so I'm going to start from scratch. Let's do this properly. So this needs to measure 3.25. I think I was looking at the wrong measurements. So 3.25. We'll chomp into another piece of card. 3.25. And that's 5.5. So we'll do it at 6. I was looking at the wrong measurement. I can see here exactly what I've done. I read the wrong measurement. There we go. So that should measure 6 by 3.5. Bone folder. Here it is. I'll score that at 1/2. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my corner chomper, because I do like my X cut, but on the this is 300 GSM, so I'm going to move over to my corner chomper. So I have my folded edge with the score line at the top, and I'm going to use the 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to go over it again on the other side just to round it off perfectly. There we go. Okay, so here we have another one, and I did cut this wrong. Never mind. I think that looks all right actually. I was aiming for the width of the page, but that's not too bad because you kind of have a little bit of the white poking out and it will turn properly. So we're gonna say that's a happy mistake. Okay, so Kim's asking me what printer do I use. It's the Epson EcoTank ET7700. It's currently out of stock on Amazon UK at the moment, which is a shame because it sells out. They get it back in and it sells out again. I think everyone wants one. So MDXX, I'd like an A3 printer copier. Been looking at reviews. Canon Pixma seems popular. The reason why I went for the EcoTank is because it takes liquid ink, and the printing life on that is, I think it's 2 years they say, depending on how often you print. So I have another EcoTank, my first EcoTank, downstairs, and I still have the original inks, and I've done Knitwit collections, I've done absolutely ton of printing on the one downstairs, and there's still the original ink, but I upgraded to the next one up because it has a higher resolution. I went for the photo quality one. So the 7700 is the photo quality one, and I think the 7750 is the A3 version. So I'm a little bit of a printer nerd here. I do like my printers. Okay, so here we have a flap, and you don't have to have a magnet for that one at all, so that will be absolutely fine. The only thing I would say with the Eco tanks is they don't take super thick paper. With my 7700 I need to test it with thicker paper because it's a photo quality one. It may take the thicker stuff, so it might be all right. So let's get this. I set those aside here. Let's get that glued on, and then that will be this project. Hi Jeanette, I'm surviving this heat wave we've just had. It's much nicer today, much cooler. It's like 21 degrees out. I really can't take it if it goes over 25 degrees C. And I know some of you are living in deserts and really hot weather, and some people love it, but with me it just takes the energy out of me and I can't do anything. In fact, it just makes me moan. Okay, let's pop this on there, and then I'm happy to call that good. So what I'll be doing off camera is I'll be decorating the front of the album. I'll do another one of these cards and I'll mount it and make it look really nice. And then I may just print off some of the other elements in the pack as well. I haven't printed everything off. There's loads of embellishments and sticker things, images that I haven't done. Okay, so that's going to pop down like that. And here we have our pocket. Again, it will stop like that, the page won't turn. So the rest will be kind of stuck up like that. But if that doesn't bother you, then go ahead and put the pocket in the middle. If that is going to bother you, don't put the pocket in the center, just put other bulky items, maybe even a waterfall would be perfect in there as well. that is a really nice, sturdy and thick album. That's really nice. So I'm going to carry on with my decorating. What should I choose? I'm going to mount everything onto white cardstock, I think, as I layer everything down. Okay, so I'm going to read some of your comments now and see how everyone is. So in South Florida, the real feel is over 100. So does anyone know what that is in degrees C? I'm really not good at the conversion, but that does sound like it's going to be too hot for me. I bet in Florida it's going to be humid as well. It's really not nice when it's humid and really hot. So yeah, everyone's talking about printers. So I really do need to get that. I've got a couple of videos that I need to edit. So yes, Lou, hope you enjoy making this one. So what size washers do I use? I have no idea. These ones were leftovers from IKEA things that I was building when I got all of my new shelves. I'll measure them for you. Do you need millimeters, or? I think they do them in millimeters. Everything's in millimeters in the UK shops. So let's measure this. So this is 11 millimeters. So 1.5 centimeters. Nope. See, math's terrible. Let's start again. 15 millimeters. 38 Celsius. Yeah, I think you'll find me in the fridge. Whew, 38. Oh, I wouldn't survive that. I would literally like die, I think. 38. That would be my worst nightmare. How do you cope in 38? Do you have aircon? See, like the British houses, they're designed to contain the heat because we live in, you know, cold weather mostly, and rainy, wet weather, which I like. So when we get a really good heat wave, the houses just were not designed for that. Luckily, it's not too often, and I'm glad my house keeps me really nice and warm in the winter, so I'm grateful for that. Okay, so in inches, ruler, there it is, in inches, we have it at 5/8 of an inch. I'm still getting over that 38C. Oh, my ideal holiday would be going to the Arctic and camping in the Arctic, where there's loads of nice snow and alpine trees and survival situations. Make your own fire, make a shelter. I'd have an axe. That would be my ideal holiday, but I think you would probably all call me mad for that. Okay, looking for the magnets. Here we go. Kind of just keep everything stuck together because everything sticks to the magnets. Yes, Debbie, we do need to have more houses with aircon because it's just a lot hotter than what it used to be. So Helen's saying inside her house it's still 25. I do have a thing. Oh, it's 23 in this room, so I do have the window open. The wind is really blowing in, but it's not reaching me, but it's cooling the room down, which is quite nice. Right, so let's put these away. So it does, these do come in a child safe container because it has these ridges here. So if you do have trouble with your hands, you might have to get somebody else to pull that out. So those are my magnets. And I got those from Amazon. Okay, so I'm now going to call it a night now. I do have ice cream. I have ice cream to eat. I'm looking forward to that. I ran out of Ben & Jerry's. I finished that, and in the shop, my local shop, they had half price ice creams again. So I thought I'd try a double decker, Cadbury's double decker. It's actually quite nice, but I don't think I'd buy it regularly. I think I'll be more on the Ben and Jerry's, I think. Yes, romantic holiday in a log cabin in front of an open fire. That sounds perfect. Yes, definitely, Margaret. Too hot, too hot. So I'm going to find my other bone folder. Maybe I should name them, give them names, put some numbers on them or something. I'm just reading all your comments still. So, yes, so I hope you all really enjoyed this one. Good luck, Gillian, making this. Crush some of those gold special chocks on them. Actually, I did find a really old giant Ferrero Rocher half eaten down the back of my shelving. Here it is. I'm going to show you this and then I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm tempted enough to eat it. I don't know. Maybe I could sprinkle this on. So this is what they look like on the inside of these giant Ferrero Rochers. So you get this. I really like this, actually. I actually really like this. So I need to find something to do with that. You get this plastic shape. And I have eaten half of it, but look, it's going off now. I'm sure it still tastes okay. I'd say that's pretty edible. If this was the last piece of chocolate I had in my house, I would definitely eat it. I've eaten half of it already. I must have just hidden it from the kids and just pushed it right back. Thank you, Nancy, just subscribe. So yeah, remember, if you don't want to miss any of the live videos, just make sure you're subscribed, and you should get a notification when I go live, and then you won't miss out. So yes, it's a bauble. If you haven't seen these before, they sell them at Christmas. You can get them on Amazon, I think, as well. It's huge. And then in the inside you get, I'm just going to grab a spare Ferrero Rocher I have to my side. I have these everywhere. You get 2 of these on the inside. They come in a little packet, but I think I ate that. I think I ate those. So I think they do this in a bigger one as well. So I really want the bigger one. And then they're just too nice to actually eat. I think they're nice to look at. So maybe I'll eat the chocolate. Ferrero party to get rid of them. I think everyone will be sick of Ferrero Rocher, so they won't want one ever again. So maybe I can just re-wrap this up. No one will know. No one will know. Glue that in there and glue that around. But yeah, that is my Grand Ferrero Rocher. So just type in Grand Ferrero Rocher in Amazon, see if anything comes up. But they do come in the shops round about Christmas time. So fingers crossed they make a return this Christmas. But I won't be teasing you anymore with this or in anything in my my July series, because I don't know how readily available they are. So you've got to be able to get what I get, if that makes sense. I don't want to use things that you can't get hold of. So it has to be accessible to all, I'd say. Okay, send it to you, Debbie. I'm sure you don't live far. How far away is Woking? I'm in Hertfordshire, so it's Woking. My brain, I think it melted yesterday. I can't think straight. Right, I'm putting my bone folder away because I will lose it. And that was my spare. And before I go, I just want to say hello. I should have said this at the beginning. So I just want to say hello to Lynn again. She's gone to bed early. She's a bit tired. So I did say that I would say hello to her. So hello, Lynn. And I hope you've had a good evening. So MDX saying, Debbie, if you're a good girl, Santa will bring you one. Okay, so I have a date now with Mr. G and a tub of double-decker ice cream. The ice cream's for me, he'll have a beer, so and then we may just watch a film. So don't know what we're going to watch. We've got a few things that we watch on YouTube together, so we'll probably catch up on that. And we like Gardener's World as well, and we'll probably end up talking about chickens and things like that. Oh, about 25 miles, that's not too far. I'm thinking Woking is near like London area. I keep thinking it's round about in that area there. It's a shame there's no travelling at the moment. I live around about half an hour north of London on the train, so it's not too far. I can just, well, I used to be able to just pop into London if I needed to. So I'm hoping you all have a good night, and it's night time for me. It is 10 o'clock in the evening over here, so I'm sure it's like lunchtime for some of you guys as well. So it's really hard to get the timing right for everyone around the world that are watching, so I'm really happy that we have the replay as well. So hi Lynn, yes, oh, thank you. It's the first time you're joining us. It's Saturday 27th, it's still the 27th here, 11 AM in Hawaii. Wow. Yes, I'm going live every Saturday, with the odd Saturday here and there that they won't be, but I'll be telling you in advance which Saturdays are not going to be happening. So I hope you all have a great day. I'm going to say have a great day because I have no idea what time of day it is where you are. So Nancy's 5 PM there, so it is doable, Deb, it is doable. I try not to do too complicated because even my brain can't cope with that. So yeah, it's got to be easy enough for me to do. So, and then yeah, just step by step, just follow what I do. Okay, so I'm going to go and eat my ice cream, talk about chickens to Mr. G, and I hope you all have a really good day, or what is left of it, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye everyone.